How you doing today? How are you doing today, man? I am your host, Lacey G. Soldier Turner. And today, man, I got a very, very special guest with me. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I love doing these type of interviews because it's people I grew up watching, man. Listen, he's appeared in front of audience, man. He's been acting, playing instruments. He's a great entertainer. Like I said, American rapper, actor, model. DJ. He is the founding member of the DC-based go-go band Backyard Band. He is also known for his portrayal of Slim Charles in the HBO crime drama television series The Wire, which is my favorite show. He has appeared in many, many, many monumental films, man. So, without further ado, welcome to the platform, Anwan. Big G Glover, man. Welcome
How
to the
you
platform.
doing, man? Blessing, brother. Blessing to have me, man.
Hey man, look, I'm happy, man. Look, I'm happy and excited. So let me ask you this question, before we get into some things. Where were you born and raised, and how was your upbringing as a child?
Man, I was born in Washington, D.C., uptown, Northwest Washington. Upbringing was a little rough, man. Raised by my mom, single mom. My dad was always incarcerated, penitentiary guy, back and forth in the penitentiary. It was tough, you know what I mean, with my other siblings. For the record, I'm my only child living sibling left. I'm the only kid left living out of my families, out of my siblings. So it was pretty rough growing up, man.
Mm, I can understand that. So what got you into
Yeah.
acting?
Well, in school, like in elementary, like we had drama express, we had the male ensemble singing. I played the French horn and stuff like that. So I always was into acting in school. But like in DC, it's not really that many outlets for like when you want to like New York City, like where you can go to a school of arts, performing arts, or they had a performing arts school in Baltimore. But my city was different. We didn't have all that, so we just did like drama plays and stage plays and stuff like that. And I always wanted to do it. And I always was into it, like watching TV, my favorite shows and stuff like that. So once I got a chance to audition and stuff like that, I started broadening my horizons, stepping out, trying to go out of town and do more stuff and casting and trying to get into television.
Gotcha. So I seen that you got shot 13 times and stabbed
Yeah,
4 times. So do
yeah,
you think with all that God had a purpose for you? Because I know that is crazy, like to deal with all of that.
yeah, definitely. I think God had a purpose for me. Like I said, I'm my mom's only child, living child. And growing up where I grew up at, in the hood of 14th Street, behind Black Hole Morton Street 640, it was always rough because it was a drug infested neighborhood. East neighborhood we moved to, it was always a drug infested neighborhood. So I think I had a purpose, and I was always a leader as well. So I know I saw a lot of guys that went down that follow path and they make it. You know what I mean? So with me being a leader and having my own mind, I think that's what kind of kept me moving as well, with also the guidance of like older people, like just trying to tell me, man, you ain't gotta do that. You a super talented kid. Keep going, try to do something else with that talent, man.
Okay, I got you. So here go the question. How did you get the role of Slim Charles in The Wire?
Oh man, so my man Jay Coop, I don't know if you guys remember Teen Summit on BET.
Of course, yep,
Yeah,
definitely.
my man, he was the light skinned kid that had the dreads.
Hmm.
So he saw my headshot in the Brian Bullock agency, and he was like, "Hey, yo, G Anwan, man, it's a audition for The Wire." And I was like, "Man, that's my show. Man, that's my show." He was like, "Man, it's an audition. You gotta go. You can't miss it." So at the time, I was working on KYS, and he kept coming. He was like, "Look, you gotta make this audition." He actually took me to the audition, and I read for Marlo Stanfield. I
Hmm.
read for Drag. I read for a couple of characters on the show. But I was actually coming from Houston, Texas, with a trip I went with Steve Francis,
Hmm.
and I got the call from Pat Moran Cash and say I got the role of Slim Charles. Man, when I got that role, that was it. I went crazy on the plane, man. And then that was it from there. I was going. I've been moving ever since. That role opened up a lot of doors for me. Then I cut my braids off, and But
Yeah.
once I got that role, that was like that was it. That was the role right there. That was it.
Hey man, like Slim Charles was one of my like favorite characters on the wire. Like just the way he was able to, be a chameleon and maneuver, and he had morals and principles. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Indeed. Yeah.
listen, man. Listen, and one, but you got to say my favorite scene, man. You got to say the line on a Sunday morning, man. I got to hear that.
On a
Let me hear
Sunday
that. Let me
morning.
hear that, man.
On a Sunday morning, you try to hit a nigga when he taking his wrinkled ass grandmas to pray, and you don't hit the nigga. I'm standing here holding a torn up church crown of a bona fide color lady. You know what a color lady is? Not your mom's for sure. Because if it was that, you wouldn't have did that bullshit, man. You trifling with Avon here. You know that? That was that, man.
Hey man, I love it.
Yeah.
I love, man. Listen, man, I love it, bro. The passion you put in. You should have known better than that bull.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bullshit, man.
and even with
Yeah, man.
yeah, even I was like, even with the scene with Stringer Bell, with the like Senator Clay Davis, like, hey man, that's some
Oh yeah.
assassination. Like, I ain't
Clay
trying to.
Davis, downtown Clay Davis. Shit looks strange, man. Murder ain't no thing. But this here's some assassination shit, man. You know, them was like my favorite pieces, man. Cause
Man,
like, people
yeah,
always try to get me to recite them lines all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's a black. I'm talking. I could be anywhere, New York City, man. I could be anywhere. They be like, "This so Slim, man. What's up, man? We gonna fight on that line, man. We gonna fight on that line." So, man, it's like love, man.
classics, man, classics. Even
Classics,
like,
man.
even one of my favorite lines because the Wire dropped a lot of Jews. So even when you and Cuddy was in the office and you told Avon, I stubbed him on the shot and he was
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
he was a man in his day. He was like, he's a man now.
man. Now, yeah,
Like
hell
I
yeah. That was
respect the
the
Avon. Like Marlo, I don't think Marlo had no more.
nah. He ain't kidding about nothing, man.
Yeah, he got the
Now,
lady in the store killed just to set up
yeah,
Omar. I'm like, she
yeah.
ain't even
Ain't
had nothing to do with the
do
game. But
with it, man. He ain't kidding nothing about it, man. And that's how it was like the show was so unique and down to a science because like that's how the street was, man. The street was like that. And a lot of people lost their life to drug overdoses, to people getting murdered, to the whole nine. But that show, like I shout out to all those other shows that came after our show.
Mhm.
But we put the blueprint down, man. People learn from the Wire, man, how to put that thing on screen, man.
Yes. And then one thing I love about The Wire, like if you get a show like Scandal, it's about it's about the president and this, but The Wire was everything tied together: politicians, the police, the streets. You know what I'm saying? The school
Everything,
system, the newspaper, and it all tied in together. So that's why I really.
everything. And that's why everybody could relate to it all the way to the season when we did with the kids, with
Mm-hmm.
the school system and what your kids doing while you at work. It showed you, man, all the way down to the docks.
Right.
How the drops or how the stuff, how the transport and stuff was coming in on the docks in Baltimore and the
And
shipments and stuff like that. That was a part of real life, and that's how people were getting paid and things of that nature. So
and
I don't think no
a
other
lot of
show would
people
be
hated
that
that.
right,
They
that
hated
big,
that
that
second
real.
season, but I loved it though. I loved the doc season because it was important for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I loved it. It showed you the growth. It showed you what goes on in Baltimore because Baltimore, Charm City, is a city in its own. You know what I mean? But
Facts. So let me ask you this. So
you know,
can you hear me? Okay. Oh, you still here?
yeah,
So let me ask you this. So the Wire, it was like the largest African American ensemble cast. It really ain't even get a lot of recognition to it went off the
I
air.
know, man, because we was the largest African American
Yeah,
cast in a series ever.
facts. So how you
And
feel about that though, and the talent?
I like I because we did that photo shoot that day.
Mm,
And just to look at all that amazing talent that we were surrounded by. And nobody acted like Oscar Water winning people. It was just we was a family.
mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, hey, you want to run lines? And let's get lunch. And everybody was chilling. And you know what I mean? Just like with Michael K, everybody, man. Idris, Woolhurst, everybody ever tell stories and stuff like that. It just was like we was out kicking it, man. Like Jamie, everybody, Banger, like Felicia, everybody was family, man. You know what I mean? Trey Chain, everybody was like family, man.
Mm,
JD Williams, everybody was just out, man. Like Sonya, everybody was family, man.
mm,
Still to this day, Wendell, everybody, still everybody's family.
mm. I like that. I love that camaraderie. And
Yeah,
one thing I want to say too, just like no knock to other show, like no knock to Power and any of that. But The Wire, I love. It was real. You know, I remember on the last season when I had On Demand, I'm sitting here watching, and then
yeah,
rest in peace to Mike K. Will he get killed? I'm like, hold on, he got to get his
yeah.
revenge. I'm rewinding
Hey,
back
yeah,
like he got to get his
man.
revenge. But it just show you, no, this is real life. You know, ain't no fairy
This
tale.
how it go. Yeah, no, this how it go. Even when Stringer, even
Yeah.
when Stringer got killed, Edges, my aunt, she smacked me in the back of my head. I'm like, Auntie, you taking this TV stuff too far. She be like, "Then what? Ain't you supposed to be the must? Don't you supposed to be watching him? For no happen to him?" I said, "Listen, God damn, I was at my family reunion at that point. I'm like, man, come on." She like, "Yeah, I'ma smack that boy upside his damn head. He ain't watch my boyfriend." I like that, man. Shit was crazy, but people really was thinking that thing was real, bro. I'm like, hold up, Mars, you
Yeah.
taking this TV too far, bro.
So look, let me ask you this, Anwan. What was your favorite season on The Wire?
Oh man, I had a couple, man. My season, well, like I said, I really liked it. Season, I say season what, 4,
With the kids?
with the kids, because it's like, you know what I mean. Like I talked to Naaman, I talked to Nathaniel, I talked to those, like Dookie, I talked to them. They're my little brothers, man. Them some super talented kids, and it
Mhm,
just showed, man, that the writers, like with George Pelican, the writers were super amazing writers. They
mhm.
put them kids in that show, man, wrote them kids in. And that
Yeah,
show with the kid Laura Hoppers, man, show what them kids go through in Baltimore.
right.
And I'm quite sure everybody around the world could relate to that show. Kids have to go to school and kids get on drugs. They sticking together, you know what I mean, stealing cars. That's what life bring you. That's why that show was so authentic, that they touched the school system, they touched the docks, they touched the politics,